Yeah, I'm kind of caught in this limbo. I do feel like they should stay and see out this Rodgers thing. But then I get into this weird flux of like, we're going to have a really high pick. And I totally understand where people are coming from saying they want a quarterback in round 1. I don't think that's how we're going to handle it because you got Rodgers and everything like that. But like, does Douglas try to make... What does Douglas going into a year that he's on the hot seat and Salah's on the hot seat do with someone like Bryce Huff? Is he too valuable to lose? Is he more valuable in getting someone else because you've already invested other, assets into him? Like, how is he allowed to use our draft capital and our salary cap space that could be, shifted in the future? Like maybe he's like, screw it, I'm going to T. Higgins, Mike Evans, everyone, we're pushing the cap hits off into the future because screw it, I don't have to re-sign Garrett Wilson, and I don't have to re-sign Sauce Gardner, and I don't have to re-sign Breece Hall because I'm not going to be here next year. Like that's the kind of the scary thing. Like, are we going to put handcuffs on our GM, or are we going to let him have like free reign to do what he wants? Green bean.
No, I say good. Like let him know, hey man, you're on the hot seat. You've had now 5 drafts or whatever it is. Salah's had 3 full seasons. Here's your record. You got 15 wins in the past 3 years or whatever it is. And maybe Joe Douglas stops having that hard line and getting beat by teams that offer guys another $500,000. And we lose out because he's frugal. Like, how about this? How about just if you're going to get Orlando Brown and you're close and he's leaning, blow his doors off and get him in here. You know what I mean? Like, that's a guy you want to bring in. If you got to do that with Devontae Adams, blow his doors off and get him in here. You know what I mean? Like, so we've lost a lot of – look at the free agents that we've brought in Joe Douglas's tender. Very few. Like, you can consider Laken Tomlinson pretty much the only one that was like a top tier. He was – widely considered, you know what I mean? Like if he wasn't your top, he was in your top 3 for guards in that draft class. I'm sorry, in that free agent class. So, but other than that, we get all mid-tier guys. We get Uzoma, we get Pierre Desir, we get, you know what I mean? All these types of guys, and some work out and some don't. But even DJ Reed wasn't like the top cornerback in that free agent class. Look at Whitehead, who was the Well, look at Whitehead
or was that last year?
It was two years ago.
Well, I know when Reed got here. I wasn't sure when J.C. Jackson was a free agent.
But remember when we all wanted Marcus Williams?
Yes.
And we got,
we didn't get a safety.
And the rumor was the Jets were negotiating with him and the Ravens came in and stole him. Now, then a report came out and said they that's not true, blah, blah, blah. We don't know, but the truth is we all had him as our top guy. He was the top safety out there. The Ravens got him, and we got Jordan Whitehead. And it's like a poor man's version. You know what I mean? That's what we get. We get the guy that's cheaper. He's a mid-tier, and we're hoping our system can raise, fit in our defense. And that's all well and good, but maybe, just maybe, Joe Douglas, if he does realize, hey, dude, there's a good chance you're not even here next year if you don't win some friggin' games. And how about you do everything humanly possible to make sure the offense works? Oh, and by the way, with your first round pick, top 15 pick, how about you don't use it for a developmental edge rusher? A specialist. How about you bring in somebody to bolster the weaker side of the unit, of the team, which is the offensive unit. Oh, and by the way, we have this 40-year-old quarterback that's going to be here for a total of maybe 2 seasons. How about you put all of your resources into making sure that he's upright and that he can succeed, instead of depending on a guy who's 39 years old and he's coming off rotator cuff surgery? How about that?
That makes too much sense, Bean.
Can you be our GM?
How about that?
What do you think, Matt? Do you think we should allow Douglas to spend what he wants and do what he wants in order to make it work for next year? Money and picks be damn.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Spend it all.
Yes, if you're gonna go for it, absolutely. Like if you're gonna have him here and be like, oh, by the way, caveat, you can't go balls to the wall because we're thinking maybe if things don't work out, we'll let you go at the end of the year. Well,
that's cutting off your nose.
So 2025 first is on the table.
If you're going for it, yeah.
If
you're going for I'm curious where your guys' heads are at. I wouldn't let him move the 2025 first. I don't think It would have to be like a really good player for me to want to do that.
Who gives a shit? If you're trying,
I gives a shit. I gotta be here. Douglas and Sal are gonna be gone. Fuck them.
No,
I want to be here. I want my pick.
But if he does it right, he's securing his own job, Ryan. So let him fight. If he's doing things, look, if you see him out there like, I'll give you a first round pick for Jameis Winston. Like,
if
all right,
we
then
give up
all
a
right,
first round
slow
pick
down,
for
buddy.
Devontae Adams, I'm gonna lose my cool. I'm gonna be absolutely flipping nuts. I'm gonna be so upset. I don't want to lose a first round pick for Devontae Adams. I do not think he's worth it.
Why?
Because I'd rather T. Higgins or Mike Evans or Darnell Mooney or Hollywood.
Like it's his children is even telling
the first
you
round
why.
pick, a 5-year rookie contract. I don't want to give it up for a 31-year-old wide receiver on a 1-year, $17.5 million deal. Or you got to give him more money. Like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not doing it with Devontae Adams. Other players, maybe.
By the way, but
What?
Not that it mattered. I said I don't think that's what it would cost anyway, by the way. But like I don't care about giving up the 2025 first round pick. If it came to that and it was trying to go all in 2024, I'm good with that. It's like it's the polar opposite of the argument where it's the people are saying Joe Douglas, like they might need to move off of Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas. But the Jets probably won't do that anyway. And then it's okay. Well, you have to take a quarterback in the first round to have him sit behind Rodgers. And if it doesn't work out with Rodgers in 2024, then both Saleh and Douglas are getting fired, and they will never see that quarterback play that they took in the first round to develop. So it doesn't even matter. The point being, you have to go in for this window with Aaron Rodgers. And if it takes draft capital to do that, to get established players, then do it.
I do not want to do that because I have to hedge my bets in some degree because our team right now, if you had to go into next offseason, you're like, all right, we got to get rid of Robert Saleh and Joe Douglas. We're going to get some limp dip fucking coach that's going to we're not going to have any draft picks. The dead cap hit for Rodgers is coming in 2025. Then we are a total barren wasteland. Maybe that's what we signed up for when we traded for Rodgers, but I don't know. I don't want to give up the 2025 first. It would have to be an insanely good player for me to want to make that move. Like trading up for someone, I don't know if that's now let's say you gave up the 2025 first to get a quarterback at the end of this first round or something like that. You know what? I could live with something like that, but I don't know. I don't want to lose the 2025.
You're trading hold on. You trade
I'm saying using the 2025 first as collateral for something. You're either trading him for a developed player or you're using it to move up in this year's draft in some capacity.
You're okay to move up one, but not okay with trading for the established player?
Yes. Devontae Adams, yes.
What do you mean?
I would 100% rather a 5-year rookie player this year than a 1-year, 31-year-old player when there's a bunch of really good free agent wide receivers. Yes, absolutely. I'm not trading a first-round pick for Devontae Adams.
You won't have to. You're getting mad over something that's not going to happen anyway. It's not going to cost a first-round pick.
So maybe a first-round. I don't know. Maybe I'm just irrational. I'm sorry. This tinfoil is too hot.
Let's get back to generally speaking. All right. So you don't. That's not the player you'd want to give a pick for and all that jazz. Fine. That's fine. We all have our preferences one way or the other, but the idea that you would hold Joe Douglas back if he wants to, because look, the truth is that he's built by and large, other than this quarterback offensive line, this offensive thing, we have some serious players on offense in Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall, but our defense is top tier. Now they're cracking now, right? They're definitely, they're not able to hold up the whole team all season, but he's done a good job. All right. 2/3 of the team, defense and special teams are borderline elite. The offense is so bad that's where we are. So the idea that you're going to handcuff this guy and ensure that his last season is a failure makes no sense to me. He's the general manager, and if he's going to be motivated to kind of kick that money up a little bit and get the guys that he needs to bring in here, if it's Michael Evans, whatever tackles, I don't know which tackles are going to be available, but let's say we go into the draft, we don't even need a tackle anymore. That kind of a thing. I say you let him do it. And if he's going to use next year's draft capital, I hear what you're saying, Ryan. But if he wins, he's going to be here. You know what I mean? Like, you let him try to secure his own job. Let him try to win. We still have Aaron Rodgers. We still have Garrett Wilson and Breece Hall. And we still have 𝐒𝐿𝐫𝐞𝐫𝐢𝐻N𝐞. And we still have this defense. Most of the defense is under contract. Where you got Bryce Huff to consider. That's it. Everybody else is solid. Anybody that we want anyway. So like this team, like we're still, even though it looks like we've sunk into the abyss, we're really not that far away. And I'll tell you, if you put me in there right now, I'd get this team to win. I know I would.
I know I would.
I got 2020.
I think the 2025 pick, I mean, unless we're just saying screw the rookies at that point and just going for like a vet quarterback, I feel like that 2025 pick shouldn't be allowed to be moved. I think it's like, hey, you've got enough assets. You've had however many first-round picks. You've taken 8 offensive players in the top 2 rounds since you've been here. You've taken 3 defensive players in the top 2 rounds since you've been here. Like, time to fucking sack up and actually hit on your picks. Like, the offense has to click next year without mortgaging away the future, in my opinion. We got plenty of cap space. We're going to have like $60 million in cap space by the time everything's all said and done. You got plenty of draft capital. I think we're going to end up with, like, I've been saying the 7 pick overall. So if you want to trade down from there, I'm totally down for that to recoup some more picks. I don't know. I don't want to mortgage the future for this regime right now. That feels a little worrisome.
If you're going to do that, then just fire him.
Yes. Agree. Yes.
But like, you have enough assets to do what you need to do.
I'm disappointed in you. I have to check to see if your vagina is okay.
Oh my God.
Wow. I got the power. Screw green bean. Damn it. Let me go on my soapbox.
That was great.
Look, you're gonna have $60 million in salary cap space. You're gonna have what, like 10 first-round picks by the time this year's done? I'm telling you, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Matt, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. You want to mortgage away the future with Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh on the hot seat. I don't think it's right. I don't think you have to do that. I think you should be able to put a team around Rodgers, fix the offensive line, get him weapons with all the assets we have currently at our disposal. Plenty of free agent cap space, plenty of draft picks. I hate everyone.
They are on pace to have a worse offense than the.
But I think that's Hackett. I don't think it's the players. The players were like, look, our offense sucked last year, but it wasn't like this. Like, we had like quarterbacks coming in that were getting 300 yards. Like, I'm telling you, I think it's Hackett. That's more my issue. And I know Hackett's not going anywhere, but like, I don't know.
I don't.
I'm just yelling at the wind now.